friend, John MacLennan here, and in this video you're going to learn how to play Further On Up the Road as recorded by Eric Clapton with the band from The Last Waltz. Now this song is a blues in the key of G, and I already posted a lesson on how to play the rhythm and just going through the chords for the entire song. So if you haven't seen that, make sure to check that video out. I'll leave it linked up down below. But in today's video, we're going to dive into the lead parts and just that opening solo that Clapton plays at the top. And there's some amazing blues licks in here that you can steal and add into your own playing and just level up your blues guitar. Now before we dive into it, I want to hook you up with something right away for spending some time with me here on my channel. I want to give you a cheat sheet that I made that's a one-page PDF, but it's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scale patterns that I use to rule the neck. And there's a lot of information on this page, but it's only one page. You can print it out and keep it as a handy reference on your music stand or on your desk. And it's really going to get you started for learning to play anywhere on the neck. So check that out as my gift to you. Just go to johnmaclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well with that said, let's dive into this solo. Now we're going to break this down into just small chunks. There's a lot of good phrases here that you can steal and add to your blues vocabulary. And the first one goes like this. 1, 2, 3. So that's a great little lick. To me, it sounds like he's stealing this from Johnny B. Good. And what it is we're sliding from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then play 3-5 on the 2nd string. And then go to a double stop here, grabbing the 3rd fret on the 2nd and 1st strings. Okay, and this is all based around a G chord here. So you want to be thinking about the chords as you go through this. Okay, then there's these little scratch strums that he's adding in between that are just muted strings. Okay, then he goes, and this is a way of sort of dancing around a G triad here. What we're doing is playing the 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string and 2nd string. Then go, it's a double stop, then go to the 3rd fret and do the same thing. And then hammer that middle finger down to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And again, we're sort of, like I said, outlining this G shape. And you hear this all the time, like, you know, those kind of blues licks that sound like that. So, okay, and then he grabs the top part of the G chord. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then on the and a 2 he goes for the Johnny B. Good double stop again. And then another great blues lick here. All those double stops being used. So it's a double stop on the top here, then a double stop, 5 and 5, 3 and 3, then the hammer finish on this note, which is your root note for the G chord. Again, it's so much easier just to think about sort of outlining this G chord than it is to worry about every scale that you have to know and mixing, you know, the mixolydian with the pentatonic and the major pentatonic and the minor. Forget all that and just learn this stuff. Because it's all in there, you know, but it's so much easier to think about it this way than it is, like I said, to worry about all the theory. So, like that right there, it just sounds like blues right away. Okay, so that's the first part. Then we go. Okay, so that's sort of now down on the lower strings, and Clapton would do this. He'd play out of this position, then he'd go up here. Here I'm playing 5, 7, 7, then grabbing a double stop, this time on 5 and 5 of the 4th and 3rd strings. And then, that's so cool and so Clapton. So that's bending a half step on 7, then release, then a hammer pull, then 7, 5, and then it's kind of like a throwaway on that last note. Sometimes he'll slide up, sometimes he'll slide down. Right? I mean, it all sounds so good. You could take any measure of it and it's a great lick to know. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and then. Okay, this comes down pentatonic, but with a bend. Again, there's that little hammer pull that Clapton would do all the time. 6, 3, bend 5, natural, hammer pull, 5. Okay, so that's minor pentatonic, but then again, there's those double stops. 5, 3, then 5, 5. Then he does the full chord. Goes to the major, right? So double stop, hammer to the 4th fret, and then 3rd fret there, Johnny Be Good. Those top 2 notes. So, I mean, how cool is that lick? Okay, so far, everything sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we get to the last 4 bars where we're doing the turnaround. Here he plays a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what this is the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and then to the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And it's a pickup starting on beat 4. 4 and now this is something I want to note is, you know, we're playing a blues in the key of G, but Clapton keeps going for this note. Okay? And what that is the 6th, which is a T-Bone Walker thing, or like B.B. King thing. And what B.B. would do is they would emphasize that 6th, the 6th note of the scale. So, you know, in the key of G, that's going to be the note E. And that really gets more of a classic sound as opposed to just your typical pentatonic. Now I mix this in there. Right? And I start getting a whole new flavor. And it really is, it's the concept of mixing major and minor pentatonics, but it's just easier to think about it in terms of the vocabulary. So this is going to go. So that's 5, 3, 3, then another one of those hammer pulls. He keeps doing that, right? And then 3, 3, 3, then go to 6. So there, he's using the 6th of the chord and the 7th of the chord. I know that's confusing because these are frets 5 and 6, but that's the concept there. So then he walks down. Classic blues sound here. This is the pentatonic scale. But notice, he always pulls that note. Okay, then. This is, again, another perfect example of just sort of dancing around that G shape. And then he ends, I love he ends with the slide. So that's 3 to 4 on the 3rd string. then 3, 6, 3, double stops. Ends with a hammer, and then a slide. So. That's the last 4 bars. So if I put it all together and play it as one piece, here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3. Congrats on making it through this Further On Up the Road guitar lesson. Remember that you don't have to learn every lick in the solo. You can always just steal 1 or 2. Although it's a good idea to learn as much of it as you can, but just start with some of those licks and then work them into your own playing. And to help you connect all of this more, be sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide. Just go to johnmaclennan.com/fretboard guide, and this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales that I use to rule the neck. So you can just download that there or use the first link down below. Also, leave a comment and let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Just comment the name of the song down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another lesson real soon.